I'm going to be serious right now. Something tragic happened last night at midnight. It started. Okay, this is all started on Friday night. This is going to head into now. I'm going to explain everything. This past Friday, my dad was going to the bathroom. Was at work going to the bathroom, and he started to have a he. My dad started to have a problem on his behind in his butt, and there was blood coming. There was like a little bit of blood coming out from his butt, and when he got home, he was okay, and like just a little blood. And then Saturday, he was okay. Early yesterday morning, when he was going to do groceries. Um, my dad was still good, and um, last night, before midnight, before 12 midnight, or right around that time, my father was going to get ready for bed. He had work the next day, so my dad went into the bathroom. All of a sudden, my father started bleeding from his behind again. This time it started to become worse. It started to become dripping, and he was like freaking out. So then, like, there was like blood like coming out. And I think he went like twice. And my poor mom, with her condition with her knee, um, my mom couldn't do anything, so I had to help. So, anyways, when I was like waiting, like my father was like freaking out and everything, and then all of a sudden, like when my dad came out of the bathroom, he went to my room. He was about to go into my room to talk to my mother, and I heard a bit of a bang. Like I heard, maybe I thought it was my mom because of her knee and everything, but it turned out to be my father. And dad just collapsed right in front of my bedroom door. And he was unconscious for about a few minutes with his eyes open. I screamed and said, "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad!" And he was like, I heard my mom was like trying to call my father. So I rushed out. I rushed, got to had my phone with me, rushed into my bedroom, and then automatically we called 911. Yes, so we reacted. We called 911, and they dispatched us over to the ambulance. And while we were on the phone with the ambulance, I was like got back to the living room just in case, and all of a sudden my dad got up. I don't know how he did it. My father was managed to get himself back up, went into the bathroom again, and the blood came out. Blood was coming out, and worse. It was so worse. The blood came out so badly. It started dripping. There was like stains in the bathroom a little bit, and on the floor, the carpet a little bit. So more than like 3, 4 times. Good thing the ambulance was 5 minutes away. So when the ambulance pulled up, like 5 minutes, my dad, I had to stay with my dad in the room, keep talking to him, make sure he was responding and everything else. So when the ambulance came, I had to open the door, make sure everything's all open, make sure the ambulance got here okay. Like, not okay, make sure the ambulance got the right apartment. They already know from the address when we called from the dispatch. And then when they came, right, the ambulance came. There was like two ladies, and they were very nice, very professional. Like, they were very on point. So I had to handle everything. The reason why my mom couldn't, because my mom, in her condition, and she is very hyper because of her problem as well. So I handled everything all last night. There was like, because we don't, well, my mom would have handled it, but the thing is, in her condition, with everyone else around, I handled the situation last night. My brother was at work, so I had to handle everything slowly, explain everything what happened. And they took my father's blood pressure and everything. They asked about the medication, and then my father was very weak. I'm surprised he was managed to get up before they came. And then he went and so they checked him out. And then all of a sudden, like, I had to turn off the TV and everything, turn off everything so they can focus on my father. And then after that, um, so after that, they were talking about his medical history and everything else, because the last time he was in the hospital was nearly 12 years ago, when he was 48 years old with a heart attack, which will be coming up on April 2nd. Yes, April 2nd, 2011. My father suffered a heart attack at 48. So like so then like the ambulance was at the like the two ladies were here, the paramedics. There you go. The paramedics were here, and they explained everything. I explained everything, and then like I followed procedure and everything. Good thing I acted very quickly. Good thing we did call 911 because I don't know with other people when there's a situation like this, they don't call 911. I don't know why they would do that because if it was like I don't know why what you're scared of, somebody is sick and somebody might be dying and what you're not gonna call 911. What if you're gonna let the person suffer like that? No, it doesn't work that way. So then I handled everything last night. I cleaned up a little bit, the blood stains off that, and they were still here with my father. And then like when he went to the bathroom again, he had to get up to go to the bathroom. The blood, oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. So they when the paramedics, one of the ladies saw it, they know what it was. So then while my mom was in the room, I was standing right in front of the two ladies, the two paramedic ladies, and they were saying that he needed a transfusion. I'm like, okay. And then after that, they got the stretcher and everything. So they took so I helped my father, right? I asked him, do you want me to stay? They got it. They had it under control on their end. So my father went into the hospital. Um, he went to emergency, and like we were on standby just in case. Like I had my phone with me on. Actually, they tried to before they came. They tried to call my number, and like I don't know, I didn't know it was their number. They called me from a 905 number, which was okay. I found out and I saw who it was. So I gave it to my mom, and it was the ambulance. And they tried to get because we used my phone to call 911 on my cell phone. Good thing, like I said, anything happens, I have my phone to call 911 for emergency like that. So that's why I reacted right away. Hey, call 911, call 911. So when after that, so they rushed my father over to emergency. My brother got home. My brother just got home. He saw when he was pulling out the poor guy, right? My brother just got off work. He was coming off work. He saw the ambulance coming out. In my brother's mind, he thought that, okay, because in our complex, there's like paramedics coming in and out here in one of the units. So when we told my brother, that's when he mentioned the ambulance coming up from our complex. Because usually when there's an ambulance, no, 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 like me too, me as well, everyone else, like mom, like me, or anybody that's seen ambulance coming in and out of our place, usually like it's one of our neighbors or anybody in the complex with health issues or whatever, but coming out. And when that's when like my brother saw the ambulance coming out, so he knows. So when my brother came home from work and we told him. So after, yeah, so they took my father to emergency. And then I had my phone on just in case they tried to call, but they got my house number. So the one I think from what I've heard, we got an update from I think one of the nurses or whoever's in charge. My father's up at Trillium Hospital. Over at emergency in Trillium Hospital, they asked for they called my house. They talked to my mom, and I think they were asking about his medication. So they can give him his medication, like his blood pressure pills or the pills he's taking for his whatever he like. I think yeah, I think it has something to do with his heart and everything because my like after 12 years after the heart attack, right? And so he took it that so he took that, and then so that they only called just for the medication, but the real results we're still waiting on what's going like the official results, the official update. We don't know what it is. Like my mom said, it could be a hemorrhoid. So because he's been in the hospital since 12 o'clock midnight. It is now 12:16. So we got a call from I think one of the I think the staff members or whatever from Trillium. So we found because even before they called, my mom was asked. My mom was saying like no, because my mom wanted to ask which hospitals he could be at, either Trillium, Credit Valley, or Queensway, because they're all connected to the Trillium brand. So like I said, we got the call from I think one of his nurses, whoever, to give him his medication, and that was it. So now we're waiting for an update on my father, like the actual like the official update from the hospital. Um, possibly, because we were thinking that we were gonna go today, because apparently my mom was supposed to go for her dentist appointment. My brother had to work, which was fine. Like either way, we're both helping mom. So one of if him and I go, which is fine. But due to the fact that my brother, the poor kid had to go, the poor guy had to go to work. So I am handling everything else too. So then like I was supposed to accompany my mom today, I was supposed to accompany my mom today, and supposed to accompany my mom today for the dentist, but due to the fact that my father had a problem, had was at the hospital last night at emergency, officially over at Trillium. We just got the official that he's at Trillium, but we don't know what it is yet until we get the phone call. So what we're doing is we're waiting on the official update on my father, right? So it's been about 12 years since my father was been in the hospital. So we're still waiting on the results. So he took his medication already. So because my mom had to look for, because my mom, we keep all my dad's father's medication for everything, for his heart and everything, right? So we keep it up there. So that's when my mom opened up the cupboard to see what medications he is taking. So that's only that. And like I said, we just found out that he's at Trillium Hospital. And we are praying for my father. Like my mom said, it could be a hemorrhoid. So we are waiting on the official update from the hospital. So we haven't heard from my dad since. That's why now I thought the original plan was I thought they would have called me so I can give him the number for my house, for him to call my mom. But from looks of it, we're still waiting on the actual result. And then, because my father, actually, the original plan was my father was supposed to be off Wednesday because he had an appointment on Wednesday, which is fine, he has his appointment on Wednesday, which is okay, and then what happened on heading into today, he's at the emergency up at Trillium. So then my mom had to cancel her dentist appointment, and my brother's at work, so I'm taking care of everything. It's a good thing I handled everything all last night. I followed the procedure, think wisely about calling 911, emergency, call 911, and which was so cool with the system now. I think back in the days or something when you call 911, before they changed the system. If I'm not mistaken, correct me in the comments that I think back in the days when you call emergency, you get off the phone and then they'll call them call them or whatever before now you transfer over and stuff like that. Now you transfer their call, say, hey, I need emergency, we need the ambulance. So they dispatch us to the ambulance, because back in the days before the technology, before the new advance from when you call 911, usually you hang up the phone, they come right away. They would call either the the paramedics, the paramedics or the fire department or the police, and then they'll come over. Now with the system now, they'll dispatch you over to fire and ambulance. So they'll transfer you over. And so now we're waiting on the official update. That's why I'm going to come live and talk about it here. I talk about it on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know what's going on. That's why I had to post everything now. We don't know. I was waiting. Okay, what's going on? So I wanted to, let me let this out on social media. That what happened to my father. That's why I had to log out everything, because, no, I don't mind if I'm not forcing anybody to look at that post or whatever. I just want to get out of there for a while. That's why I came here and go live. So we are waiting for the official update on my father, and it's been a crazy, it was so weird. It was so weird because the weekend, at the Friday afternoon at his work, he was okay. He was bleeding a little bit, okay, but Sunday was so weird because he never bled yesterday. On Saturday, he was okay, and on Sunday morning he was fine. Going groceries to pick up groceries for mom. Everything was going great. I come home, we were watching wrestling and everything. All of a sudden, Dad, and to see my father collapse like that, it was so messed up because his eyes was open, and I was surprised he was able to get up from that. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So now he's in the hospital, so we are waiting for an update on my father. The official update. He's over at Trillium. That's why this morning before that they called, we were thinking that he'd be at Trillium, he'd be at Credit Valley or Queensway. Yeah, so my father has to live. No. That's why I reacted fast. My poor mom. No, it's not my mom's fault, because with my mom's knee, with the assist on her knee, the poor lady, you're not gonna pour this on the poor lady. Expect her, especially that she also has a hypertension deficit disorder, so she would go crazy. Not really crazy, but go bananas, right? So that's why I was calm, handled everything all last night. So I was basically I was in charge of everything all last night. Yeah, mom, like me and mom, we both shared the credit card. She did the explaining on the phone, on my phone, talking to the ambulance, like the dispatchers over at the paramedics, and then they came over. They were like 5 minutes away, and they think around like Cawthorne and Burnhamthorpe. They were coming right that area. I'm like, wow. So they got here right away. And then they took my father. He's been there ever since. So we haven't heard anything yet. But I will keep you guys updated throughout the day. I'll come back and do another live. I'll keep you posted and see what's going on with him. I know, like, we were having so much fun. Like, that's why I finished posting everything all right away, so I can, like, let it, okay, I know, because it was like, deep down, I was posting my stuff from Retro Party. I feel like, oh, my gosh. Because, like I said, when it's something serious, when I say, hey, I got something serious to tell you, I have to, like, go into serious mode. Even though, like, I was having a great time on the weekend, on Sunday, Saturday, still, I have to get into serious because, like, this was going okay, kind of since Friday, but like Saturday was okay, but Sunday morning, but going towards midnight and heading into today. So yeah, it was quite a shocking because, like I said, it's been about 12 years since my father had been in the hospital since he had his heart attack. So we're gonna, we're just like keeping strong, positive. But my poor mom right now, right? So because the original plan was we were supposed to go today. Yeah, so my mom's gonna recall she was supposed to have her dentist appointment. My brother's supposed to have his cardiologist. So everything was like it looks like everything was all canceled in God's way. So yeah, so I am keeping a little strong. It's like so messed up. That's why I like, no, at the end of the day, like you may have your problems with your parents or whoever, but at the end of the day, they're still like your mom and your dad. Even though like I had my moments, but still like, like I was saying, at the end of the day, they're still your mother and your father, right? So that's why I rushed over, like, he was like, his eyes were closed, like his eyes was like open, excuse me, sorry. And he was unconscious, his eyes was open. I'm like, what the heck? And so yeah, it was very scary last night or after midnight, because he was like literally bleeding from the behind after when you go to the washroom, blood coming into the toilet. I'm like, oh my fi. And then like there was like it was saying, so I had to clean it up. I did what I had to do, clean up the blood stains, take out the garbage and everything else to disinfect everything. My mom did a little bit because of her knee, and everything was all done. And they took my father. So a little after midnight, they took my dad. I was watching soccer, Italian championship soccer, and no. My father comes first, so I didn't care about that. I didn't care about the game, and then like the pay-per-view was on, so I didn't care about that, right? No. When it comes to my father, like that comes first before all like the wrestling and everything, right? That's why, like, okay, let me rush over to my father. Like I rushed over. I didn't sit. I rushed over, reacted right away, and I say, hey mom, call 911, and I took care of everything all that like at midnight heading into now. So we are waiting for the official update from the hospital. We are waiting on the official word on him. So yeah, so keep my family in your prayers. It's like, wow, this is the first time that actually, since like my relatives have passed away and everything. It's been about like literally 5 years since something had happened, but for my father, it's been like 12 years, because since he was 48 years old, he had a mild heart attack. Yeah, so yeah, it was very scary last night. My poor mom, right? So yeah, so it was very scary last night. Like midnight heading into like today, like it was like literally past midnight, before like few minutes before, because he was unconscious for about a few minutes. From the looks of it, he looks like he was having a seizure. From the looks of it, your eyes open, like, you know how your eyes go all over the place when you have a seizure. I thought he was having it. My mom tried to call him, like, for a moment there, I thought it was mom, like, with her, me, I'll go and help her up. But then, like, I heard a bang, like, oh, frick, something happened. Because when my father came out of the bathroom, and, like, he literally just, like, boom. And I'm like, what the hell? So I ran, like, rushed out there, grabbed my phone, and I said, that's when we called the 911. And like, yeah, we called the 911 dispatch. They put us over to the paramedics, the paramedic section. Like the paramedics, they dispatch us over to that. They transferred the call over there, and they were like 5 minutes away. Yeah, so since then we haven't heard from him since midnight. That's why I had just in case they have my number. They have like the information, everything, the medication. Now he's taking his medication. We'll see what it is. I guess my mom said it possibly be a hemorrhoid. Will be like, it's very, what comes to your mind? A lot of things can come to your mind when you're going through a situation like this. So yeah. And I will come back and do another live today. I'm going to go now. Thank you all. I had to come on here and tell you guys everything, what's going on. I will come back and do another live very soon once we get the update from my father. Thank you all so much for your love and support. Let's keep our prayers for my family, especially my father and my mom, because of her knee, but because of the assist on her knee. Um, I am gonna stay strong, keep positive, and everything else because keep positive. Pray for my father. Make sure at the end of the day, he's like he's still your mother and your dad, like whatever, right? So yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna get off this live. I'm gonna be back later on this afternoon or the evening, just in case because my mom's gonna call my mom's gonna call the hospital later on in the afternoon. She's gonna call Trillium, so I'm gonna help her look up the Trillium Hospital number on my phone. So I'm gonna take off for now. Okay, guys, thank you all for tuning in for my live. I had to come on here to tell you what was going on. So I'll probably be back within either this evening, late in the afternoon. We will see. Once we get the call, I'll be back on the live, and I will see you all soon. Once we get a full update, I'll be back on here to give you guys an update. So thank you all so much. Have a great day, and I love you all so much. Just keep my father in my prayers. See you later, guys.